Do you know why Jon Snow was resurrected? Because Jon Snow is needed to advance the plot and release the Night's Watch oath. Jon Snow once swore an oath to guard the wall. His resurrection from the dead lifted his oath of until death, and he can take off his black clothes and leave the Night's Watch. Only Jon Snow is the most suitable person to unite humans to fight against the invasion of the White Walkers, because he has broken the thousand-year hatred between the Night's Watch and the wildlings. Jon Snow gave those who murdered and betrayed him a chance to leave their last words, but only Ollie kept silent. He hated the wildlings and also hated Jon Snow, because Ollie saw his family being killed by the wildlings. Now Jon Snow brought his enemies to the Black Castle, which he could not let go. Even though he felt reluctant, Jon Snow knew that he had to do the execution himself. Afterwards, Jon Snow handed Eddie the black robe that symbolized the commander-in-chief of the Night's Watch. Jon Snow had already dedicated his first life to the Night's Watch. Now he could leave Castle Black without taking his oath.
My watch is ended.
Before leaving, Jon Snow left Longclaw to Eddie. The Night's Watch took his life and his fighting spirit, but when the two were arguing about whether to stay or go, a horn was heard outside the castle. The gates gradually opened and Brienne of Tarth escorted Sansa Stark here. From Sansa's dusty expression, it was easy to see how hard the journey had been. The unfamiliar environment and faces made her extremely nervous, until Sansa turned around and saw the long-lost relative in the attic. The Stark clan was torn apart because of Eddard Stark's going south. Countless people expected them to meet again, but they waited for 6 years. Now they are no longer teenagers. It was not until the moment when Sansa hugged Jon Snow that she felt warm and safe, because from today on, she would no longer be displaced and bullied. At night, they talked about Winterfell, the day they left, and their experiences with each other. Sansa apologized for ignoring Jon Snow in the past. Jon Snow just smiled because they were a family. When they could return to Winterfell was a topic they could never avoid. Sansa hoped Jon Snow would lead the wildlings to take back Winterfell. The two quarreled, and the originally warm scene came to an abrupt end. Jon Snow is now tired of fighting. He recalls his journey. He has been fighting non-stop since he left home. He has killed the Night's Watch, the wildlings, and even the people he admired. He lost his brothers and his loved ones. Jon Snow no longer has the momentum and fighting spirit he once had.
I fought, and I lost.